Okay, welcome back to Jeff Koinange live on Citizen Television. This is the hour that you've been waiting for. Sit-down interview with Nairobi Senator Mike Mbuvi Sonko, who has won the Jubilee ticket to be governor of the county. He'll be up against incumbent Governor Dr. Evans Kidero, and of course, so far the independent candidate is Miguna, although Peter Kenneth is still on the sideline thinking about it. Senator, welcome to the show.
Thank you,
Good
Jeff.
to see you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Real quick, I'm going to go to a graphic right now on television. Monica, if you put that graphic up. Let's not waste time. Let's go right to it. This is an order from 21st April 2017. It's from Ms. Kenga and Company Advocates. RE criminal case number, and it names it 950-, Republic versus someone who's apparently got your name. Reference, and then it says, please note that the files are being traced, but meanwhile the register shows that warrant of arrests were issued in respect of the same. Is this for you, Senator?
I'm not, maybe I have to peruse the details, the contents of the letter, then I can comment to that. You have seen the letter has been drafted by one MS King and Company Advocates, but we don't know under whose instruction. And the names mentioned here, as per your letter, is Mbuvui, Gideon, Kioko, Kivanguli. These are not my names. Maybe this is somebody else. My name is Mbuvi, not Mbuvui. Mbuvi, Gideon, Kioko, Mike Sonko. Those are my...
That last name is not yours?
Kivanguli used to be my grandfather, but the authenticity of this letter has to be confirmed. This letter is not stamped. We don't know whether it's a fake letter or genuine letter, but still I'll respond.
This has been doing the rounds all over social media, Senator.
Yeah.
Is there a warrant of arrest for you?
Nothing, Jeff.
Nothing.
There is nothing.
But you do have a criminal record.
I don't have any, currently I don't have any criminal record, Jeff. And what I want to tell you and Kenyans at large, and whoever gave instructions to this lawyer, because I can see this is a current letter dated 21st of April this year.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. The nature of the cases numbers mentioned there, these are cases, for instance, case 950, even I don't remember this case, of 1997, 1998. These are cases for 20 years ago.
Great.
This is the electioneering year, Jeff. And there is a game which you call the character assassination game. I think my opponents are trying to play a character assassination game. Or in other words, I can say this is a propaganda machinery tool to just intimidate me from vying. This will not stop me from vying. And I want to tell Kenyans, Jeff, that my past should not judge my future or my present. Everybody has his past, Jeff. Our founding father of this nation, His Excellency, the late President of the Republic of Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta, was in prison. Nelson Mandela was in prison, and he became the President of South Africa. My good friend Raila Amolo Odinga, the NASA flag bearer, was in prison, and he became the flag bearer of NASA. He became the Prime Minister of Kenya. So these cases will not intimidate me.
Okay, but you do have a case from 20 years ago.
I don't have any case. I used to have cases which were later cleared.
Okay, which means you spent time in jail.
That's not a problem. That's my past. There was a time I was in prison. It's true. I cannot. You know, one problem with politicians, they like lying to Kenyans. I'm very transparent. Yeah, I want to be open to Kenyans that it is true. I was once incarcerated in prison. I once had a past, but that past should not judge my present or my future. I was elected by the great people of Nairobi overwhelmingly. I am now the current senator of Nairobi. I've been entrusted by a population of over 4 million people. So my past should not apply. That is what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this question that has to do with your present. Were you cleared by the EACC to run for the last election?
Jeff, my clearance documents are all over the social media. Immediately I was cleared, I posted all my documents on social media. I was cleared by the ESCC, unless there is a new case which has arrived in the last few days. Yep.
Is there?
Nothing. I don't have any pending case.
Okay.
And that is the reason why I was cleared by the ESCC.
Last time you were here on the show, when you spoke to my colleague Hussein Mohammed, you said something very derogatory against people with albinism. Maybe you weren't in the right frame of mind then, maybe...
I remember that time, and I agree that I was wrong. It was a slip of the tongue. I was wrong. Maybe I used that descriptive term to refer to my opponent, but I think after that I had a very big party with the people living with albinism. I was wrong to use that term to refer to my opponent, but previously, before that, Jeff, I think my opponent was all over the media, was on record in all the newspapers. He was referring to me as a hooligan, that I serve a few hooligans in Nairobi County. I want to tell Kenyans that I'm not a hooligan, and I repeat myself, my past should not judge my future. I'm not a hooligan.
Yeah.
The great people of Nairobi I serve are not hooligans. The few people he's mentioning, I garnered over 800,000 votes. Those people who voted for me that time are not hooligans.
Okay, we'll get to the
And I serve a population of 4 million, Jeff.
Yes.
These 4 million people I serve are not hooligans. Therefore, I have confidence in my leadership.
Senator, we'll get to the hooligans in a moment.
Yes.
Peter Kenneth, you just mentioned him. You beat him resoundly, but he called the election a sham. Did you win a sham election?
No, that was totally wrong for him to refer those, our current Jubilee Party nomination as a sham. We had a free and fair process, and I was voted again overwhelmingly by the great people of Nairobi. Although Nairobi, the people who participated in the election were the party members. And what I can say, as per our party register, we registered slightly less than 500,000 Jubilee members in Nairobi County. So I totally disagree with his remarks that we had a scam.
Okay, now that you beat him, are you willing? Would you be willing to work with him?
Of course, yes. I'll be willing to work with him.
What if he goes independent? Does that mean the Jubilee vote will be split?
I don't think so. That is his democratic right to go independent. It is the people who have the final verdict on who will be the next governor of Nairobi County.
Senator, why didn't you take the deal? There was a deal on the table. 1 billion shillings we hear. Maybe more.
Do you have proof of that? Maybe if you have the documentation, if you have proof of that, maybe you can.
Why didn't you take the deal?
There's nothing like that. And in case there was something, if you're a leader, why should you offer money for somebody to step down for you? We had a scenario in 2013 whereby we wanted you to step down for our beloved president. You refused to step down. Why did you expect me to step down for you? Are you very special? I will be willing to work with one Peter Kenneth. I have no problem with him. The people of Nairobi have spoken. Jubilee supporters have spoken. Let him come to the table. We agree. If he wants to be the running mate, it is up to the party to decide.
Would you take him as your running mate?
If he agrees, why not? If he agrees, the corporate world agrees, the Nairobi people are... This deputy governor, even my seat belongs to the people. It is not my seat. So if he's willing to work with me, the doors are open. Let him come. We work together.
Speaking of working,
I have no problem with him.
Yeah. Speaking of working with you, Senator, Bishop Margaret Wanjiru. Apparently there was an MOU between you and her, and she was the one who was supposed to be your running mate. What's the deal with that?
There was some agreement between me and my beloved sister, Bishop Margaret, whom I respect. We had an agreement before we went for nominations, and we agreed either of us, one can be governor, the other one can be the deputy. But immediately when she decided to go to the nomination ballot, that was overtaken by events. However, I'm still willing to work with all my opponents. I bet in the nomination, Peter Kenneth, Margaret Wanjiru, but I have to consult other Nairobians, other stakeholders, the corporate world. I don't own this seat. I'm not a Jubilee party leader. I have to consult my party bosses.
And you would work with any of them?
People. I'm ready to work with any of them.
Even the bishop?
Even the bishop, all those who lost.
Yes.
I'm ready to work with them.
But you didn't
Not only on the gubernatorial race, even the other seats, MC aspirants who lost, MPs aspirants who lost, including my enemies, Akina Kamanda and the others. I'm ready to work with them. After this, I'm going to have a very big meeting with the aspirants who won, those who lost. We're going to have a very big meeting for the sake of the party. We want to deliver all these Nairobi seats to Jubilee.
Senator, how come you're never angry at your enemies? Because people abuse you all the time. Let's take an example. Monica, if we have that Miguna bite from last week, he was sitting where you're sitting. Monica, do we have that? Miguna, can we put it loud enough so that the senator could hear? Go on.
He's not qualified to be anything.
What do you mean?
He's not qualified to be anything. I'll tell you why. If you are sick today, you have a tumor, all right? A tumor of the brain, a tumor of the stomach, or anything like that. You try to go to the best physician, a doctor, that can treat you.
Okay.
A doctor that probably a surgeon that can take out the tumor.
If you can afford it.
No. If you can afford it, no matter what, anybody who is ill looks for a doctor. You will not look for a plumber to operate on you to remove a tumor. Correct?
And your point
so
is...
now you have Sonko, who cannot spell the word governor. He can't.
Oh,
okay, make him spell when he comes here. Invite him tomorrow. 2, Sonko has not read the Constitution and does not know the functions of a governor. He does not. Ask him. He was asked by Hussein Mohammed, Sonko, what are the major problems in Nairobi? He mentioned traffic. So he was asked, what is the solution to traffic that you are proposing? He said he would build a parking lot of 3,000 people.
Okay, we get the picture. Miguna does not like you one bit.
I think Miguna has a mental problem. I don't want to comment on that. He's vying for Nairobi gubernatorial seat. It is a democratic right to vie. He's been insulting me, insulting other leaders, but I have no problem with him. I forgive him for the sentiments he's just made. He's a brilliant lawyer. I will respect him for that. I'll not attack him on that. And it is the final say is with the verdict of the people. The great people of Nairobi will decide who will be their next governor or their next governor. Yeah. My record speaks for itself. I'll not attack him. I respect him. Let's end that story.
You know, Senator, I can't believe how nice you are to people. I just don't, because you know they're abusing you in public. Okay, let's go to another one. Incumbent Governor Evans Kidero. Monica, do we have that soundbite? Listen to this, Senator.
Tell me.
Sonko, can you beat Sonko?
Do you think, does he know the Secretary General of the UN?
You're kidding, right? Let's ask him. Senator, if you're watching the show, the governor is asking, do you know who the Secretary General of the United Nations is?
Yeah.
The present one.
The present one. As I told you, Nairobi is a serious place. It's not a place for Ben 10s.
I expected the governor to ask if I know the current chairman of Nairobi Taxi Association, Nairobi Border Association, the Dandora Dam site, but he's asking about Antonius Gattes. In other words, gutter press like him. I think the governor is okay. I don't want to talk about him because he's not here.
Yes.
But kindly organize for a show between me, the governor, Miguna. Then I come with. I've got so many doses.
Are you ready to take them on?
I am ready.
Can you take them on?
I am ready.
Can you beat Evans Kidero?
Yes.
In Nairobi?
He has failed. He has failed Nairobians. In fact, the mistakes he has committed are unforgivable mistakes. He has messed Nairobians. Kidero or the Nairobi County government receives a lot of money from the national government through the exchequer. They collect a lot of billions through revenue, and the law is very clear. The constitution is very clear. The Public Finance Management Act is very clear that 30% of the money they collect from the national government, from revenue, should go to development. So far, Kidero has collected over 150 billion. 30% of that was supposed to go for development. Have you seen any development that Kidero has done? I don't want to criticize him. Just call him on the show. I come with my dossiers. Let's deal with him.
Yeah.
For now, I respect him. Yeah. He's our current governor. I don't want to attack him. I don't want to attack Miguna. Just call them for a show. We meet here. Just ask another question about my agenda. So I don't want to.
Okay. Speaking of money, Senator, you roll hard for lack of a better word. You have huge convoys with huge 4x4s. You have a gold-plated limousine that is one of its kind. So basically, everyone's asking, Senator, where does your money come from?
I think my money, I can say it comes from God. I'm a blessing. I've been serving the great people of Nairobi. But in some areas, for instance, if I refer to the fleets you're talking about, you're just mentioning about my private limousines. You're not mentioning about the ambulances which have been...
I was going to get to the Sonko rescue team. Yes.
About the fire engines which I have, the horses.
How do you fund that?
Truly speaking, Jeff, for instance, as we are talking now, I earn a salary of 1,000 bob.
Come on, your senator salary is about $1 million shillings.
From $1.1 shillings, I just earn 1,000 bob. Simply because I've attached my salaries, because I've acquired fire engines on loan. I've acquired ambulances on loan. Horses to transport dead bodies to different parts of Kenya from Nairobi from loan. I earn a salary. I've been earning a salary of 1,000 bob for the last 5 years because I've attached my salary. I also like to appreciate business, the Nairobi business community. For instance, there's a company in the industrial area, Bachu Industries. They have donated 3 water tankers because they were impressed by my work. They have confidence in my leadership. They donated 3 water tankers. Express Kenya Limited, they have donated 3 prime movers to Sonko Rescue Team because of the work I do to the people. So it is true teamwork. My savings, my salary, my family savings, I've taken my salary. I don't receive any salary from Senate.
So with 1,000 shillings a month, how do you fuel all these guzzlers?
But we have well-wishers who are supporting me. For instance, Bachu, I fuel my cars at a Total Petrol Station, Mombasa Road, and industrial area for free under their account. Express Kenya the same under their account, and I really appreciate them. For instance, when I was doing the medical camp, when the doctors went on strike, Koinange Hospital also intervened. They donated drugs to Sonko Rescue Team worth 3 million. This is out of goodwill, out of the work which I've been doing to the great people of Nairobi.
Speaking of drugs, do you sell drugs?
I've never dealt in drugs, Jeff. I've never been convicted with any drugs-connected offense. These are just allegations which were started immediately I clinched the Makadara parliamentary seat. And there are so many allegations which were leveled against me. First they said I was selling anti-albinos, which I've never done that. They were saying I was killing people. I chop off private parts, I pack them in cans, I export them to Spain, I sell them at a profit. These were all allegations because I defeated 2 governments during that time. The Nusu Mkate government, the PNU government, ODM government. And that's why all those allegations were leveled against me.
You've never sold drugs?
I've never sold drugs. I've never dealt in drugs. And if I was a drug dealer, I could not have... right now, I have a loan of over 20 million Kenya shillings. I earn a salary of 1,000 bob. What does that tell you?
And when people call you a pharmacist, are they wrong?
I think my brother Ivan Skidoro was once a pharmacist. Pharmacists are known. They cannot differentiate even between salt, cocaine, and glucose.
Yeah.
Even I'm sure the head of intelligence knows about this. Even the head of state knows about this. The security agencies know about this. I've never dealt in drugs.
Never sold?
Never sold drugs. These are what we call character assassinations, factors which are normally used to finish somebody.
Senator, you were talking about how the Indian business community is very supportive of you. But there are others who say that the Asian community in Nairobi are fearful of a Sonko candidature. They're fearful of a Sonko. They think you're going to go and take over their land.
That is a total lie. For instance, in the recently concluded nominations, I bet my opponent in Parklands, where we have a majority of Asian population, the cases which I've dealt with, for instance, the land grabbing cases, I've rescued over 50 Asian families in Nairobi County who lost their land through cartels, through county government cartels, and have repossessed those properties, reverted those lands back to this Asian community people. So that is totally wrong. I bet my opponent in Lavington. I bet my opponent in La Parklands. I overwhelmingly bet my opponent in Runda, Mudangari, Mudaiga. What does that tell you? Kenyans have confidence in me. Even the upper class have confidence in me from what I've been doing.
Yeah.
So far, I've repossessed properties in Nairobi County worth over 30 billion Kenyan shillings. I've got all the court orders here with me, all the cases here with me, all the families' names here with me. So my record speaks for itself, Jeff. Whatever has been propagated, fabricated, those are just malicious propagandas meant to tarnish my good name, tarnish my good leadership I offer to the great people of Nairobi.
You know, the other thing they also said was that you couldn't speak English.
I went to school. I'm expressing myself in English right now. I think those are the likes of Kinamiguna and my friend, the incumbent governor of Nairobi. For now, I do not attack them. I've got several dossiers. I know what Miguna was doing in Canada. I know what my governor has been doing. The land grabbing cases, which are rampant in Nairobi, corruption cases, he's the main player. But because he's not here, or they are not here, I'll not attack them. Just do a good show.
Yes.
Invite them here, call me here. I come with my big files which I normally carry. Then we can debate when they are here. But for now, let me don't tarnish their names when they're not here. It's wrong for me to mention about Dr. Evans Kidero, my good friend who is not here. Miguna, whom I respect, a good lawyer, a brilliant lawyer who is not here. I cannot tarnish their names, but call them here. Let Miguna spit his nonsense when I'm here. Then I deal with the case when he's here. But for now,
yes. Before we go to break,
we
go to break, real quick, your education.
Yes, Jeff.
Do you have a degree?
I have a valid degree, Jeff. Let me take you back. I went to nursery school. I did my primary education. I did my secondary education, which my opponents are doubting. I did a bridging course at Unity College. I did a diploma at Unity College. Then I did a valid degree. People are doubting my KCSE, but once there is a time I posted all my academic credential online through my Facebook page. Whoever has a query, let him download any certificate. I did my KCSE in 1992. NEC issued my result slip. NEC is in Nairobi County. Anybody can go there and verify my result slip. The college I did my bridging course is in Nairobi. Anybody can go there and verify whether I did a bridging course or a diploma course there. The university whereby I did my valid degree is in Nairobi. KEMU is in Nairobi. It's a Christian university. Everybody knows about KEMU. Anybody can download my degree and go and confirm it. Maybe my parents were poor, they could not afford to take me to Europe, Harvard to study, but I appreciate I've met the academic qualification as provided for in our new constitution that you have to have a valid degree. And I remember I even invited the president to come and witness my graduation.
Yeah.
But he sent his deputy because he was engaged somewhere else. So my degree, as far as I'm concerned, my degree is valid. And education should not apply here, Jeff.
Sure.
Education is just a ladder to climb to wherever you want to go to. But leadership, Jeff, comes from God. We used to have leaders in Kenya. For instance, somebody like Tom Mboya. Tom Mboya was a brilliant lawyer who never went to any school of law. Somebody like the founder of Facebook, the richest man in the world, he never went to school. Zuckerberg never went to school. Bill Gates, the Microsoft founder, he never went to school. Churchill Washington, I think the first prime minister of Britain, he never went to school. Lincoln, the former powerful president of the United States of America, who dealt with the slavery issues. He was the president of the powerful president of the United States. He never went to school. So education does not apply. And I'm appealing to the incoming MPs. Immediately they go back to Parliament. They should amend the Election Act on education. Because if you come from a poor family, you don't deserve to be a leader. This is very long, Jeff. What have PhD holders done for this country.
Okay.
Starting with my friend, Governor Evans Kidero, who is a PhD holder. What has he done? Look at what he did in Mumias Sugar. He messed Mumias Sugar. It's only the government the other day came and rescued Mumias Sugar. Look at what my brother Evans Kidero is doing in Nairobi County. Corruption is rampant. He has messed Nairobi County. Look at the government parastatals. Kenya always has been messed by PhD holders. I'm not attacking the PhD holders, but what I mean, a section of PhD holders have messed the corporate world, the corporate section.
Senator, I'm going to take a break now. Come back and talk some more. Let me take a break. Come back.
Chest Bank has been finished by PhD holders. Kenya Re, Prudential Bank.
Yeah, we can go on and on.
Investment.
Senator, let's take a break. Come back.
Sour.
You mentioned the president a moment ago.
Yeah.
Are you good friends?
Very good friends.
Is he watching you?
I don't know. Maybe he's watching me.
There's a time you put him on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Don't answer that.
Okay.
We'll come back to it. And also, that answer about your source of wealth, I'm not satisfied. I want to know.
We'll come to that.
I want to know.
When we come
back.
After the break, we'll come to that, Jeff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're speaking live to Mike Sonko. He wants to be governor of Nairobi County. And we're asking the question, is Mike Sonko the man to lead Nairobi? Keep tweeting, keep texting, 22422 at Mike Sonko, at Koinange Jeff, at Citizen TV Kenya. Jeff Koinange Live takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.
JKL brought to you by